Accuse my salesperson of forgery? Awesome, your service is cancelled. I used to be a sales manager for a B2B services company. We provided a service to business. Unlike a lot of companies, we would not auto-renew a client's service unless they signed a new contract. The contracts were generally for 1 to 3 years. All our contracts were signed on an iPad that recorded the GPS coordinates of where the document was signed, and we emailed the client a copy of the agreement instantly, and in the email, we basically said, if you disagree with this contract or would like to make changes, contact us within 5 business days. If you don't, we will move forward and bill accordingly. In addition, one of the cancellation terms in the contract was dishonesty. If the client could prove we were dishonest, they had a right to cancel without penalty. If the client acted dishonestly, we had the right to cancel their contract with us. There was a client that was actually quite a small account but always proved to cause a lot of headaches for my reps. I remember calling the rep and going over the common issues I've seen with this client, and I stressed, get the signature on the iPad in his office. I also stressed that if the client wanted to cancel, let him cancel, because he's been proven to be very difficult to work with. Salesman went to the sales call, signature was signed, client's service was executed according to the terms of the contract. 4 months later I get an email from a customer service rep. The client is claiming that my salesman forged the client's signature. I did my due diligence before calling the client. I checked where the newest contract was signed. It was signed in the client's place of business via the iPad. I compared the signature on the newest contract to the many signatures on the numerous contracts we had on file with the same signer from the client. They were all very close. I also looked at the email that we went to the client right after the contract was signed. The client opened the link to see his contract 65 minutes after the contract was signed and did nothing. Also, the link was open for several minutes. I looked up the client's current billing status. He was 45 days behind. He knew we didn't start charging late fees until 60 days behind, and at 120 days we would begin litigation/collection account status. I called up the client and this is how the call went. Me: hello, this is Lufa from ABC. I was told you are accusing my sales rep of forging your signature on the renewal. Client: yes, I never agreed to pay that much. I never would have. I told him to give me a discount and I wanted to see it in writing before I signed. Me: and did he give you a discount and show it to you in writing? Client: no, he said he had to go talk to his boss and I never heard back from him. Me: okay, and then what happened? Client: well, y'all kept up the service and I noticed on my billing it hadn't gone down but up in cost, and I looked back in my emails and saw the sales rep forged my signature, and that's illegal. Me: yes, you are right. If the salesperson did forge your signature, that is illegal. Client: well, good to see that we agree on that. Me: after the contract was signed, regardless if the signature was forged or not, you would have gotten an email with a link to the contract asking you to verify that everything is correct, and if it's not, to let us know within 5 business days. Did you get the email? If you did get the email, did you review the contract? Client: well, yes, but I was pretty busy and didn't open the email until recently. Me: I totally get it. We are busy nowadays, so assuming he did forge the signature, what would you consider an acceptable resolution to this? Would you want to end service with no penalty? Would you like a discount? Client: I would want a discount. Me: and what would you consider an acceptable discount? Client: 3 months of free service. Me: got it. Well, Mr. Client, I got several problems with your claim that my sales rep forged your signature, and before I fire this salesperson for forgery and offer you a discount, I'd like to see if we can't address those problems. Client: sounds fair. Me: the signature was captured on our iPad, which records the GPS coordinates of where the signature happened. Per the GPS coordinates, it happened inside your place of business. Client: well, he knows that, right? Me: yes, he did. Client: that just means he forged it inside my building. Me: okay, Well, the next issue is that the signature on the renewal contract looks exactly like the previous contracts. Client, he just copied my signature. I know I didn't sign that. Me, could it be possible someone else in your company signed it? Client, no, everyone here knows I'm the only one that gets to sign those contracts. Me, I understand. The next issue I have with your claim is that the link to the contract that was emailed to you was opened 65 minutes after the contract was signed. Client, no it wasn't. Me, yes sir it was. The reason why we have you click a link to view the signed contract is so we know if you opened the link or not. Not only that, it appears like the link was opened for several minutes, which to me would indicate the person who opened that link reviewed the contract. Also, the fact that no one ever responded to the email would indicate to me the person who reviewed the contract was fine. Client, are you accusing me of lying? Me, yes, and because of that I will be cancelling your service with us effective immediately. How would you like to pay your current balance? Client, you're cancelling my service and want me to pay? Me, yes, I want you to pay for the services we provided. Client, I'm not going pay. Me, if you're not going pay for the services we provided, I'm going refer you to our collections department, and they will add late fees, and if you don't pay them, they will refer you to our law firm for litigation. Client, we have a contract. You can't just cancel my service. Me, actually, I can, since I have good reason to believe you're lying about the accusation that my salesperson forged your signature. Everything I have says you signed it. Our contract states that we cancel your contract for being dishonest, and that's what we are going to do. Client, duck you. Hangs up. I referred the client to collections. He eventually paid them without us having to sue him. Honestly, we probably would have just sold his debt to a collection agency due to the dollar amount not being high enough to be worth it to sue. TLDR. Client accused my sales rep of forging a signature. I cancelled his agreement with us for lying. Now to the comments. It's so nice when you're able to catch them lying. And it's also nice at times to bluntly tell them you're lying. You know it, and I know it. I've never understood why people do stuff like that. You're willing to risk an innocent man's job and probably send him to jail to get 3 months of free service. Yes, they are. It's nice when you have the ability to rid yourself of sucky customers. It's a shame that either due to fear of bad publicity or the obsession with keeping customers that more businesses don't dump sucky customers. That was my takeaway. It's nice to see the boss sticking up for his team. I can't tell you how many times my boss caved, custom doors/windows with or without install, when a customer pulled some BS. Like it's $600 homeowner order, this isn't worth our time or money. Just cancel the order, refund the customer, and I can get back to building that $100,000 order for that guy building an apartment complex. Oh no, Karen's gonna make a witchy Facebook post. However, will our reputation recover? This bit. Me, got it. Well, Mr. Client, I got several problems with your claim that my sales rep forged your signature, and before I fire this salesperson for forgery and offer you a discount, I'd like to see if we can't address those problems. Client, sounds fair really. Annoys me. This guy was willing to have someone get fired just because he didn't want to pay. That salesperson would have their own bills to pay and maybe kids to support. What an absolute scumbag. The client must not be very bright. OP is clearly indicating that they have proof that everything was done legit. I think we have the same client. I had a call with a very angry little man. His part got shipped to the correct address with the wrong name. This is a very expensive part which requires a signature. The problem is that we sent him a quote with the shipping address on it. We asked him to review it and if all of the information is correct to sign and return it. He signed and returned. We used the shipping address on the quote. He got so angry because, well, that's my name and I'm 300 miles away. As if I'm supposed to know that. The real kicker was, well, I guess I'm just going to have to read every little thing you guys send me. Like, yeah, you should probably read a quote before you sign it. I'm not a freaking mind reader. I'm not a freaking mind reader. What customers, hell, and bosses, expect of CSRs. My supervisor was actually really great. As soon as I could tell the customer was upset, I asked my supervisor to listen in and assist if needed. After the call he told me I did a really great job. He said he was getting ready to jump in and give the guy a piece of his mind. But really, does he, the customer, think I sit around all day eating bonbons and tracking his every move?